Hey, coming up right now, what's in the video? One man says his gas is worth $1 million.
Also coming up, a bodybuilder goes out on a wing and a prayer to flex his muscles.
No one knows why, though.
No.
A little bit later on, First Lady Melania Trump set to earn a huge, beautiful amount of money from one streaming service for a documentary about her life.
Yes, amazing life at that, too.
Yeah.
Daily Flash starts right now.
Get ready for trending news and entertainment. This is Daily Flash with your hosts, Andrea Jackson and Mitch English. The fun starts right now. This is Daily Flash.
Hey, everybody. I'm Andrea Jackson.
Everybody, I'm Mitch English, and guess what, kids? This is Daily Flash. Yes!
Woo!
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And we're certain that this is Daily Flash because that guy's on it.
Yes.
Matt Doolittle. Hey, Matty, how
There
are
he
you, baby?
is.
Mitch, you and I are going to have to find something else to do with our weekends. Joanne Fabric is closing.
I heard about this in
So
Florida.
all of our
right?
knitting,
All
our knitting
over.
weekends, we got to find something else to do now.
Here's the thing. I won, as you guys know, I'm very short on material all the time. What am I going to do now without Joanne?
Hobby
always
Lobby.
someone.
That's your next option.
Hobby Lobby would
Hobby
actually be
Lobby.
the next.
Yes.
You know, you think about it. I mean, I don't know of any other like
Fabric
fabric
stores?
store around except for Joanne.
Yeah, me neither.
I don't know. All right, and we got James working camera
Hi,
one
Big
all
Daddy
this week.
James.
I'm here. I'm excited. You know, I'm learning a few things over here.
What's in the bag?
I'm probably in trouble. I can't tell you what's in the bag.
I tell you what,
There's stuff at this
2
time.
weeks in a row. We got
Make sure. Listen, you turn your mic on, okay? That's all you
I
gotta
thought
worry
I
about.
thought I have it on.
It's okay.
No, they can't hear you.
They
They
can't hear you.
It's all right though. You're doing a good job behind
Keegan,
one.
it's your fault.
Blame
Dang.
it on Keegan. Keegan did it.
Keegan's our audio
Audio
guy.
guy.
And
the number on
of
that
course,
bus?
you know, Keegan, thank you. Okay, we like to talk about airline stories on this show.
Don't we ever?
This Reddit user has caused a firestorm with this latest post. They were on a flight recently to Puerto Rico. They had booked a window seat in first class because flying into Puerto Rico, they wanted to see their grandmother's house on the way in, right? They were not asked to move seats once, not twice, but 3 times by 3 different passengers.
Oh, wow.
They moved the first time because this woman said, my mother has dementia, we need to sit together. Okay, no problem.
That's sweet of them.
She moved to her new seat. Somebody else came up to her and said, we want to sit together. Could you move for us? Because we saw you move for this person up there. And the person was
well,
like,
that's not
are you
cool.
kidding me? And they moved again. And then a third person came up to them and said, look, we'd like to, and they said, no, I'm not moving anymore. This is it. And I love this quote by the flyer. They said, I know I chose to move for these people, but I'm so upset that I paid for that specific window seat, and my options were basically help a woman with dementia but enjoy my view, or move and sit in an aisle seat by the bathrooms.
Oh, that's no good. So that's where they wound
so
up.
that's
even
where
worse.
they wound up.
I can tell you if a flight attendant sees that, they usually give you a little extra care, attention
Yes.
sometimes. But again, I'm with you on that, especially now with these a la carte flights where you pay extra for the certain flight, seat rather. And so, yeah, that would frustrate me once. Okay, twice.
Yeah.
I'd say, no, you need to find somebody else.
And I think,
I'm
you know,
okay with
when
that.
you're booking those seats, oftentimes you want a specific
Yeah,
seat.
yeah.
You want a window or you want an aisle. People are very specific about it. And if you want to sit together, then you need to book tickets together.
Right.
And I also think, like, you should be asking the flight attendant for that help, not
Certainly.
going up to specific people and putting the onus on them. Either you make or break my flight, you know, or you're going to have to sit here in misery and feel bad about saying no to me.
I've only been asked once for a family, and I wound up sitting in the middle between. But it was a little kid, so it wasn't
Yeah.
like it was that big of a deal. But I was
Right.
just like, all right. And I think the guy worked for the airline because he was in the back and he kind of got on. He said, "Hey, do you mind if my family sits together?" And I go, "So I'd have to sit in the middle."
In
and
the
he's
middle,
like,
yeah.
If you don't mind. And
Yeah.
I'm like, I do mind.
I do mind, right.
Because I understand I'm putting this
do
for the
it.
family.
My thing for any of that is depends on how long the flight is. If it's cross country and it's nonstop, I'm not moving because
Yes.
I need an aisle seat and I'm not
Right.
changing.
James?
Mother Teresa might need that seat. I'm not
I'm
moving.
bad. I'm sorry, I wouldn't move. Period. If the lady that had dementia, I'm your grandson. I'm your grandson. grandson. Don't worry about
Actually-
it. What you need, Grandma? I got you. Hey, I'll take care of her.
So you'd be okay with feeding her?
That's
on the
right. I'll
flight?
take care of her. I'm your grandson. What is the insurance policy
Yeah.
numbers?
Yeah. What's up, Mima? How you doing?
Think about some of the,
Right.
some crazy conversations you have on flights with
Yes.
the people next to you. That would have been one. But I was going to say, nobody goes up to you, James. Somebody's going to ask you, sir, can you move?
Yeah.
Please, sir, can you move? All right, sir,
Now
you
they're
don't
going,
have to
please
worry
don't
about
sit
it."
next to me.
Please. Hey, it makes for a great flight.
All right, let's jump into some trending news. There's a guy, he makes thousands of dollars every year selling his gas, and he can't believe the demand for his product. We're talking about that gas. His name is Nath Wild. He specializes in passing gas videos. The former carpenter from Australia says that he eats foods that he knows is going to make him bloated down under, because he's Australian. After early success on OnlyFans, he actually started getting gas video requests. He claims that he's earning more than $200,000 a year thanks to his gas-related video content. And if you turn on TikTok, and if you turn the volume all the way up, you'll actually be able to hear the bottom of the barrel being scraped with this guy. You just got to hear it very, very well, because that's it. We have, that's it, right?
Yeah,
that's it. We're done. It's
Why
been
don't
great.
you-
You've been awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh,
I went to college twice, and I. Come on,
This is all
man.
you need. This is all you need.
Now, if you sit next to James on a flight, you get it for free, right? That's, I mean, but here's the thing. It's not his fault, per se, because there's people that will pay to see or hear and hear this.
Who's on OnlyFans in here?
Nope.
Hold
I
on,
gotta
that
go.
was a setup. Hold on.
Yeah, I'm married. We're all. Most of us are married. So.
Andrea set us up right there.
All right, so none of you will admit to it, but I'm guessing that these kinds of weird requests are common on OnlyFans, and this is how people make money.
you're right.
It's just nuts. Like, can you put socks on? And people are making $300,000, $400,000 a year. Now, socks on is a little bit more respectable than passing
would buy
gas.
feet pics.
There's, well, that's the thing, and you're right, because there's fetishes for
Yes.
everything from people passing gas
Clearly.
to people wanting to see news anchors' feet,
Yes.
There you go. Get that money.
and
freebie for him.
Hey, Mama needs a new pair of shoes.
Yes.
Can you take yours off?
It's just very odd.
No,
like-
you're right. Isn't it weird?
Yeah, it's very strange.
And this guy is making killer. I mean, a good-looking guy.
Yeah.
Get him lifting weights or something. But
Now here's the thing,
Go with
like,
what you gotta go.
what's his dating life like? Because if I take him home to my parents and I say, "Here's my boyfriend, so and so," what do you do for a living?
well, let me show you.
You're hoping they don't have Google. They know how to use it.
Well, figure out. Depending on this field, I'll tell
Making
you.
six figures.
Yeah.
It is what it is. As long as they ain't doing nothing.
There is something for everything.
There
everybody.
is, you're right.
It takes all kinds.
It does take all kinds. A bodybuilder is defending his decision to jump inside an airplane engine and film himself doing push-ups.
All
The
right.
fitness influencer facing backlash after filming himself doing a series of exercises inside the jet engine of an airplane and posting the video to social media. The 23-year-old says he recorded it last June while working at the airport and recently uploaded the content. Now, he says the airplane was parked on the tarmac and the wind was causing the propellers to move. He claims the plane was not moving until the next day and no passengers were anywhere near the aircraft. Sydney airport officials were not amused. He also says that pilots and flight attendants do this kind of thing all the time.
If you know of a flight attendant
Yeah.
and you look on their Facebook page or their collection
Yeah.
of pictures, they're sitting in,
Yep.
in
Really?
that. I mean,
Oh,
yeah,
I've
all the
seen
time.
my
So
cousins
this is
one.
a
I've
lot
dated
more
them.
common.
Yeah,
Okay.
but not for push-ups, but
Yeah.
even still. So
I've never seen it moving though. That's where I think the
Yeah.
red flag is.
exactly.
Right.
Well, I think if it's on, it would.
It's
suck
on,
in,
but that's
right?
what it looks like. Like
does
if
look
you're
like
just looking
it's
at it now, you're seeing it.
Right.
"Oh, is that
He
thing
says
on?"
it was the wind that was moving it.
Speaking of
so.
OnlyFans, it's
Yes.
a fan, right? Yeah. That's the kind of fan you want.
Yeah.
All righty. And First Lady Melania Trump, she's going to earn, you ready for this?
Yeah.
At least $28 million as part of a development deal with Amazon's streaming service. The First Lady's documentary deal is part of a broader financial windfall from the Trump family since the Trumps returned to the White House. And so far, ready? About $80 million has been raised for the Trump Presidential Library.
Whoa.
Now, a lot of that money has come from the lawsuits that the president has filed against corporations who maligned, banned, even blocked him. So he's using that money for it.
Yeah.
But for her to be able to make money off of it, because they generally, we don't know, like the First Lady usually has a cause that she goes after,
Yes.
and that's how she gets her notoriety. But just her life is actually now making her money.
Here's a woman that speaks, I think it's like 7 or 8 different languages. She's incredibly talented, incredibly smart, and I
Beautiful,
think
too.
gorgeous. And I think she was completely dismissed and maligned during the first term.
Right.
And I think she's getting a second wind. And of course, she's got that new book out. And during her first term in office as first lady, she had her Be Best campaign, which was,
Which is what you
which
went
was
after, okay.
fighting, kids who were bullying other kids, be your best self. I'm not sure if I think she's continuing that, but like you mentioned, she'll probably have something else that she's working on, but I think she'll get it.
I like her.
Yeah.
You don't hear her saying any crazy
Nope.
stuff or anything like that.
Hey, welcome back to Daily Flash. I'm Andrea Jackson. Nike is making one of the biggest bets in the company's history, and it is a big surprise to many. They're going to partner with reality star Kim Kardashian. Joining us to talk more about this new deal is Jordan Hart. She is a reporter for Business Insider. Jordan, welcome to Daily Flash.
Hi, thanks for having me.
So how much does Kim Kardashian's new company Skims have to do with this new partnership?
Yeah, I mean, this is a full-blown brand partnership. From what I've seen so far of the likes of the Jordan brand, we haven't seen the full scale because the product lineup hasn't been released yet. But it seems like Skims and Nike are going in a full-blown partnership, more than just maybe a collection of leggings, but a whole women's wear apparel line. So this seems like a pretty big deal.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of these companies, they've got to adapt to new trends. What key factors have contributed to the massive success of Skims, in your opinion, and how does that compare to Nike's rise in the sportswear industry?
Yeah, of course. I mean, you can't talk about Skims without mentioning Kim Kardashian's
Right.
star power and her ability to sell pretty much anything. And with that comes a lot of brand recognition and people being able to see something and, automatically associate it with Kim Kardashian. And she really knows her audience. She has a really strong female audience. She's built her audience up, I mean, for like the past 20 or so years now. And so her recognition and knowing the people she's selling something to is, I think, Kim's strong suit. And kind of the same thing applies to Nike. They have that swoosh, that brand recognition, and they know all about star power. They're partnering with the best athletes in the world to bring out, shoes and product lines. So those two areas are where Nike and Skims really overlap.
Yeah, you go back to thinking about the Michael Jordan days, and that's a perfect example of just the perfect combination, when you talk about star power and a product. And like you mentioned, Kim has the influence, probably the original influencer, if we look at it. How has the collaboration between Nike and Skims, do you think, influenced the perception of athleisure and shapewear right now in the mainstream fashion? Because it seems like everybody's wearing it.
Yes. As far as Nike and Skims, I think time will tell. We haven't seen the clothes yet. We haven't seen which direction they're going to take it. But overall, I think athleisure has become so much more mainstream. Maybe 10 years ago, it wasn't as, common to see people wearing a workout set
True.
to go to the grocery store. And so Nike and Skims, their collection and their collaboration is coming at a really key time where this athleisure era is becoming so much more mainstream. They're going to Pilates and stuff like that. So I think this is really timely.
And you touched on this a little bit, Jordan. What do you think Skims' success says about the power of celebrity-driven brands in today's retail market?
The Kardashian Jenner family, they know all about a celebrity brand. And I think more celebrities in recent years have taken advantage of that. I think that when it comes to celebrity brands, it's a way for them to kind of cut out the middleman almost of getting these endorsements and working with companies. They can talk directly to their audience and, they can say, this is from me and, this is from me to you. And I think that appeals to their audiences. And I think Kim Kardashian is the example of that. Again, the Kardashian Jenner family, they know all about a celebrity brand.
Yeah.
Uh, so I think that, celebrity brands, they are a way for celebrities to connect with the people who are in their audience. And I think that they kind of have a little bit more loyalty almost from their audience, if that makes sense, than, the standard brand because their face is attached to it. And it feels a little bit more personal. And like by buying this, I'm supporting this one person who I've been a fan of for X amount of years.
Sure, and they just make it look all that much more interesting, and you share that identity. And speaking of identity, what do you think about brand identity and future marketing strategies for women's apparel, not just for Skims and Nike, but for other companies?
Yeah, women's apparel is having a big moment right now as far as sports apparel specifically. Um, with the success of women's basketball, the Olympics were last year. So women's sports has a specific eye on it right now. And I think that brands, including Nike, are taking advantage of that and leaning into that popularity and, boosting that momentum of visibility for women's sports is, and everyone is an athlete. And I think that's something that Nike mentioned in their press release to announce this, that if you have a body, you're an athlete. And I think by including that, they're kind of being a little bit more inclusive and leaning into, make this push for wellness and again, the visibility of women's sports. I think that fashion and sports are, intersecting in a really key way.
Very true. Jordan Hart, great to talk to you about this topic. Always good to see you and have that information for our viewers. And for more information on this story, all you have to do is head over to businessinsider.com. Jordan, thanks so much for joining us.
All right, thank you there, Jackson. And then there's this. Influencers are no strangers to making bold fashion statements, right? Well, one content creator recently shared a photo of herself trying on a white and red gown during London's Fashion Week. And despite the very expensive price tag and high fashion label, followers quickly pointed out the unfortunate color placement. Yeah, the shades of red featured on the dress had some folks raising a few eyebrows and kind of wondering, is this supposed to be wear like this or not? Don't think that was the case at all, Jackson.
Well, I'm not sure what sort of statement you're trying to make with this dress.
Right?
I mean, I'm not sure.
But that's what these fashion shows are always about, like these crazy
Yes.
clothes. And so that was probably an accident. People are like, oh, that looks great. I love it. I'm on that. It's wonderful. I assume that's how they talk.
Yes,
I don't know.
or maybe it was just poor placement and somebody didn't really think it through.
I think you're right on
Yeah.
that. All right, we got more of today's Trends, tomorrow's Talk.
In this week's Boss Lady, we introduce you to one woman who started a honeybee operation in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Christy Allen founded the Bee's Knees in 2010. Since then, she's developed a thriving business selling honey and teaching beekeeping.
The Bee's Knees is a local beekeeping organization that is pedal powered both in honey delivery and honey extraction. We teach intensive beekeeping classes. We rent out our honey house to beekeepers. We sell beekeeping equipment, and we do advocacy and education around bees. Growing up, I really enjoyed swimming and camping and being outside. And then I saw the town change dramatically from, a lot of that open prairie or traditional farms to big box stores or strip malls. I took out a loan and went to China for 3 weeks, and it changed my life. It just opened my eyes to how big the world was. I started working in restaurants and then gradually finished my degree, but it took a while because I was sort of addicted to traveling and I kept taking trips. I felt like I was learning a lot more that way about myself and the world than I was in school. When I was being educated about bees, someone once said, you know a real beekeeper because they lean in instead of cower back, right? And I immediately leaned in. I was just the smell, the taste of real honey, and the sound. You know, they're buzzing all the time, and it's very meditative, and you have to be present with bees. And I was like, it's close to Halloween. I should paint my bike like a bee and dress up like one and hand out honey samples. So on Halloween, I did that. I actually started by delivering to people's doors. And in an age of technology where there's always a screen in front of who we're interacting with, I was really thirsty for who's my community, who are these people, let's talk about bees. And it worked. I think the hardest challenge for me was figuring out the model and the financial model. And I mean, as any business owner, that's a perpetual challenge. But your livelihood being dependent upon something that is dying or struggling to survive, it's a pretty big gamble you're taking.
See if we can find the queen. She's right there. And you'll see bees following her around. She's got her own little contingent.
Bees used to make 100 to 300 pounds of honey per hive, and now they make 40 to 60. And one of the things really impacting bee health is the overuse and misuse of pesticides. They impact the bees' ability to forage. They forget what they're doing, they forget to feed their young, and then the entire colony is in trouble.
It's like a washing machine. The centrifugal force pulls the honey out of the comb. There's a filter built inside the machine. So the really huge benefit of this machine is that it filters while you're extracting honey.
My role in the company is changing as I get older. I can't be hauling as much honey around on my bicycle. I hope it grows to a point where it can sustain itself and continue to do really good work with community. We have a political environment that is not friendly to the environment. But we as consumers have a ton of power. It's the only power we seem to have right now. And so using it wisely, supporting small businesses, small beekeepers, farmers that are growing food in a sustainable manner. That's number one.
So this is this year's harvest. So it's going to be a little bit different than what he was getting, but it's super delicious and drizzles real nice.
Number two is we're not involved in our political system nearly enough. Pick something that really matters to you. Planting flowers is a very simple thing that lots of people can do. Remember, if you're not at the table, you're on the menu.
This is Daily Flash with your hosts, Andrea Jackson and Mitch English. Trending news and entertainment. This is Daily Flash.
Hi, everybody. I am Mitch English.
And I'm Andrea Jackson. This is Daily Flash, your source for trending news and entertainment.
So glad to have you here, and we make sure that we always take care of you all the time. So we got some good stuff a little bit later on, even right now, matter of fact. How about that?
Okay.
Andrea,
Yes.
This is going to be your year.
Yes,
I could
I
feel
love
it's
it.
your year. I found out this year,
Okay.
being a meteorologist, we always keep track. It's almost like Christmas with all the names. And guess what? The first name of the hurricane season is this year. Andrea!
Congratulations.
Now,
You did it!
I'm going to regionals.
Going to regionals, baby. I remember when I first started doing weather a long time ago, there was a hurricane. It was spelled George with an S at it, and everybody said the name wrong.
Georgia.
And I didn't even know how to correctly say it. And what they do is they get all the countries that the hurricane could affect, and they come with names that are American, that might be South American,
Yes.
ethnic to those areas
Yeah.
as well. So the first one is, which I would say it's Andrea, but there's 5 different ways of saying your name.
It's true, yes.
So which one do you think is they'll call it the most? That's what I want.
I hope they say Andrea.
I want that because
But they
you're
could
you.
say Andrea.
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 And I think there's
Andrea.
Andrea or something like that.
Andrea, yeah.
So there's different ways you
Yeah.
can say your name. I would like we start placing bets now.
There we go.
Yeah.
How people, which way they're going to say it when your hurricane comes.
I'm guessing that anyone I've worked with in the news business, they will say Andrea. Yeah.
Right. And I got to tell you all this. My niece, her name is Andrea. And I call her Andrea all the time. But she now is just like whatever. And because that's how I think it should be said. Is
I
Andrea.
give up.
Give up.
Just give up.
Here's the other name. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was going to say that's just part of the. People ask me that all the time, and I don't get offended
No, you
if
don't.
somebody says my name wrong. But my parents call me Andy, so that was my nickname growing up.
I
So
love
that makes it easy.
I used to call you that all
did,
the time
yeah.
too, but then we had another host. His name
Yes,
was
it's
Andy,
Andy,
and I
so
couldn't
we-
call him that anymore. And then I called you AJ, and we had some guy in here named AJ. Remember?
Yeah, yes.
I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna call you Andrea. Here, it's Andrea, Barry, Chantel, Dexter. There's a Gabrielle. There's a Pablo. There's a Rebecca, a Sebastian, a Van, kind of cool, and a Wendy with a Y. At the
We
end.
had that one year here in Florida where we had a hurricane that had the most obscure, obnoxious name. I think it began with an I.
I remember. Yes.
And nobody could get nobody could get it right, and everybody
hard
was
name, too,
was
though.
struggling to try and pronounce it, and everybody was pronouncing it 20 different ways.
So if you are a meteorologist, call and
Yeah.
she'll make sure that you learn how to pronounce
but
it
I don't
correctly.
see any names on the list that are questionable. They're all
Right.
easy to pronounce.
I think Olga, there's an
Yeah.
Olga on there.
Rebecca.
Humberto, maybe.
Umberto, yeah.
I guess that would be
Imelda.
kind of a little bit
Yes.
different. All right. Well, there you go. Your hurricane's coming.
Yeah.
Matt, I don't see. We'll have to wait another year.
I'm good.
They
I'm good.
retired Mitch because it went down through Cuba I think about
Hurricane
15,
Mitch.
20 years
Okay.
ago. So I had mine. We had a good time. We
You
laughed.
you did. You had your moment.
I had my moment.
Had your
A
party.
man who makes thousands of dollars every year from selling his gas cannot believe the demand for his product, and neither can we, quite frankly. Nath Wild specializes in passing gas videos.
Oh my God.
The former carpenter from Australia says he even eats foods he knows will make him bloated and gassy. After early success on OnlyFans, Nath started getting gas video requests. He claims he's earning more than $200,000 a year thanks to his gas-related video
What am I doing
content.
wrong with my life?
That's the thing. And the guy's a carpenter, which I would die to have
Yeah,
carpenter skills.
right?
He could be doing so much good for the
Right,
world.
I
And what's
know.
he doing?
Why do we reward people with this kind of money for this kind of junk? I struggle. Did somebody just?
Oh my
What happened?
What?
What happened?
I didn't do it.
Brayden!
Somebody step on a duck.
Oh my God.
Oh my gosh.
That's it.
You all right? You need it.
All right. Okay. Listen.
Hey, that was $50 you
That
could
was
have earned
50
right
bucks.
there.
Don't blame me on that one.
We wasted.
$50? Who put the bet on $50?
No, you could get $50 for that right now if you jar it up real quick.
So Karen is another name for a hurricane this
yes.
year.
Van, Wendy,
Van.
Good night, everybody.
Jerry.
Melissa is one. Nestor.
Is that the bottom of the barrel I see?
That.
That is the bottom right there.
Dexter.
Get us out of this.
Gabrielle.
You have no decorum.
Oh. Welcome back to Daily Flash. Beauty and lifestyle editor Joanne Butler joins us with the 2 must-haves for your skin this season. Hi, Joanne.
Oh, hi. Thanks for having me. You know, we were just at the SAG red carpets last night, and it was all about beautiful, glowing skin. And everyone knows the key to getting that is, you know, eating right, exercise, good sleep, and a good skincare routine. It's just everything, especially this time of year. So I always look for a little extra hydration, and I am loving this from Biossance. It's their new Plump and Hydrate set. It's 4 products, their best-selling cleanser, serum, eye and face cream, that all work together to plump and lift your skin. And each of these are powered by sugarcane-derived squalane, which is this like bioengineered superpower that mimics the moisture in your skin and actually boosts the absorption of other skincare agents by 40 times. So it's just amazing stuff. You can also feel good about using it. It's vegan, pregnancy safe, and it's just $59 exclusively at Sephora and Sephora.com. And it retails for more than $83, so this is really a steal right now, so get your hands on it. Now, once your skincare is in check, my little secret to get a great glow is this Milk Makeup's Hydro Grip Gel Tint. I'm so happy to have it because it just launched and there's a 12,000 person wait list for it. It's just this beautiful, super weightless gel formula that leaves you with a smooth, hydrated glow. It has hyaluronic acid and vitamins that give you even more of a hydration boost by 24% actually. And it won't fade or crease or settle into your lines, and it helps your makeup do the same, so it just gives you the smooth canvas. It comes in 15 buildable shades, up to 12 hours of coverage. It's clean, non-comedogenic, and it's just $36 at milkmakeup.com and Sephora.com, and in Sephora stores starting February 28th. So definitely get your hands on this if you can. Get on that list. Now, what else we saw on the red carpets? Eyeshadow back big time. This is Lukita Maxwell from Shrinking. Just love her. Lots of color all the way up to the brow, so the eyes have it. Metallic, smoky pastels, any color goes. Also, beautiful, bold red lips. So pretty simple, nice bold red lip, beautiful eye color, and of course, perfect skin.
If you want to live like a Kardashian, now's your chance. Kris Jenner is selling the mansion featured in Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Asking price? $13.5 million. The compound, not to be confused with the fake house used for exterior shots on the show, can be purchased with all the furnishings for an additional $400,000. 69-year-old Kris Jenner and her ex-husband Caitlyn purchased a 6-bedroom, 8-bathroom home for $4 million back in 2010. The 8,800 square foot house went on to serve as one of the main backdrops for the series.
It's a pretty good ROI, right?
Yes, return on investment.
Lots of changes there, I'm sure, much like their marriage was as well.
Yes.
So 13 and a half, probably a decent price, but keep in mind, people are going to probably want to come by and look at it.
That's the other thing with these celebrity-driven homes. You've got to deal with crowds that may be showing up at your doorstep that you're not expecting.
All right, a woman lived out her lifelong wish, all for her 104th birthday. Officers actually allowed her, because she wanted to spend time locked up behind bars. That's what she wanted. This is not a joke. Miss Lorena saw her bizarre dream come true when she got tossed into the Gray Bar Hotel. She was even offered a private tour of the facility where she was shown the surveillance system and the booking office. Loretta looked thrilled in the pictures that they took of the experience. Her trip also included a party with coffee and cake. Not sure if they give you that if you're in jail, but possibly.
Did it have a nail file and a cake?
That's probably right. Before leaving jail, Loretta shared her secret to living a long life. She says, just mind your own business. That's pretty good advice, wouldn't you say?
That's great advice.
Do you know that mind your own business was actually, instead of In God We Trust, was actually on the coin? It said mind your business, Ben Franklin.
No.
The original one, I'm not joking.
I love that.
We should all mind our own business,
Yes.
right?
Beloved fashion brand Old Navy is launching a new collection of workout wear to help you keep those healthy resolutions and look fab while doing it. We have the skinny from fitness expert Taylor Walker-Sinning with the scoop.
Hi, thanks so much for having me. I'm so excited to share the Studio Smooth line with you from Old Navy. I've been a huge fan of Old Navy Active, and this line has about 10 pieces for women, everything from sports bras to tops to leggings just like this at a really affordable price point. So on the lower end, you're looking at $24.99 to $59.99, which is incredible, especially for the quality. They had a team of experts that brought this to market in 3 years. And typically it takes about 6 months to a year to bring this kind of gear into stores. And not only does it look really good, it feels incredible. The quality has been tested, for things like stretch, recovery, washability, pilling, all of those things to make sure that the Studio Smooth line can keep up with the demands of your life. It's so comfortable. I mean, it's like buttery soft. But there's a really nice like compression feel, so it can definitely hold its own to the higher end leggings in the market. And at the end of the day, this is Old Navy. It's a brand that's all about accessibility. We know it, we love it, and there's something for everyone in your family. And at the end of the day, I know that I feel so much more motivated as a mom of two when I have a cute outfit to put on.
We're working on chicken stock. You can purchase stock in the store or chicken broth, and it's okay. The real stuff is where it's at. A basic chicken stock, you're going to use the wingtips, the necks, the carcass. I like to use chicken wings because they have a lot of collagen, which gives it lovely flavor and a good consistency. This is a blonde stock.
I like blondes.
You like blondes? Me too. That's why I fell in love with you.
That's nice.
Classic mirepoix, onions, celery, carrots.
Except you went, this is onions. That's onions.
Onions, celery, carrots.
No, that's not carrot, that's a leek.
Oh, sausages. You can get the recipe on my website. But for now, let's carry on. And then there's the brown stock. So the brown, rich stock, we've roasted the bones. This one would be used more for sauces and stews, whereas the blonde one I would use for soups. And we get a dark one by roasting the bones. That gives it that meaty flavor.
John is so good on the kitchen stuff. Thank you for those bite-sized tips. Let's check in now with Tony Toscano to find out what's coming out of Hollywood and straight to your screen, no matter what size you're going to watch it on. With the latest, here's Tony.
Thanks, Mitch. In theaters now is the family film, The Unbreakable Boy.
Check out my sweet new board.
Why are you such a jerk, man? Give it back.
It's not, but you can borrow sometime.
Why do you even want to be friends with him? Because he's sad. Here's a cute fact. Sometimes a sad moment feels happy. And sometimes a happy moment feels sad.
The film focuses on a young boy with both a rare brittle bone disease and autism, and how he navigates the world around him.
In order to get to the final destination of what is a message of hope and love and acceptance, we go through the darkness of the human condition. And I think that's important. I want to tell stories that really resonate with people, where people can see their own conflict, their own struggles, but feel uplifted at the end of it. And I think that's what people will take from the film.
The Unbreakable Boy is a wonderfully touching, humorous, and uplifting film about the power of love and family. Again, it's in selected theaters and gets an A. It's rated PG. Streaming on Apple TV Plus is the mystery thriller series Surface.
I have to go back to where it all started, with you, with your family.
Who's your friend?
Do you not remember her? She used to work at the stables. We were friends. And then one day she just vanished.
The series centers on a woman's quest to rebuild her life after a suicide attempt and her struggle to understand all the things that led up to that moment. I chatted with series stars Gugu Mbatha-Raw, Millie Brady, and Oliver Jackson Cohen.
And I think as an audience member, what I think comes across as well watching it is that you're wanting to understand why these characters are so drawn to each other, which I don't want to give any spoilers away, but that then reveals itself and is an absolute bomb in the middle of this world.
And they're both sort of on the quest for the truth, really, but for their own sort of motives. I think Sophie's very much trying to investigate this family and almost expose them, but I think Eliza, in her own way is trying to kind of find the truth about her own family secrets as well.
It feels like the right kind of journey, and also I think it's the most satisfying journey for an audience, that this man has been left. He's sort of been abandoned by his wife, all his money's been taken, and so he's wanting revenge. He wants to track her down, and he wants to find her, and he wants to destroy her life.
Surface Season 2 ups the ante from Season 1, which had a very slow start. Season 2 offers more suspense and more intrigue. Again, Surface is streaming on Apple TV Plus and gets a B. It's rated TVMA. For the Daily Flash, I'm film critic Tony Toscano.
A self-proclaimed most liked man on Hinge claims he's failed to land a date because he claims all his matches are just after his money. 32-year-old Alex Puxley joined the dating app Hinge back in January. He says he's racked up around 3,000 likes and 1,500 matches. Alex uses his pet cockapoo named Raffy in most of his photos. Now, despite his online Casanova status, he has struggled to find true love. He suggests there's an epidemic of shallowness on dating apps. No, you're kidding.
Really?
And claims most users are only interested in how much money he earns and what kind of car he drives.
All right, well, it looks like these are from him, and he takes a picture of him in front of his car, and he's a good-looking guy, by all means. I can understand that, but why not put on your profile if you're after money, don't contact me, or whatever.
Yes.
Or make it look like you're poor if you want, you know what I'm saying? Like, stand in front of a Pinto.
But clearly, money and status is part of his image.
Exactly, which they have people that will help you make an online profile altogether. A lot of the women say he's probably they pick him because he's not shirtless and holding a fish. Because when I was dating, I had so many saying that. So much so I wanted to go into Publix and go down and hold like a piece of salmon and take my shirt off. Because there's so many of them. But I feel sorry for the guy. I mean, he just doesn't have anything going on.
No, nothing. Welcome back to Daily Flash. Time for some must-watch movies. A couple adopts an 8-year-old girl with a rare form of dwarfism, but questions soon arise concerning the actual identity of the girl. This is today's must-watch Hulu series, Good American Family.
Hi, is this Mrs. Barnett? I see you were on the path to adopting. We have a little girl here. She is 7, and she has dwarfism.
And what's her name?
Natalia Grace.
Natalia Grace. That is beautiful. This is Natalia.
Are you gonna be my mommy and daddy?
We sure would love that if you'll have us.
It's a tragedy, really. I mean, we're her second adopted family. First one gave her back. My God, why? No idea why.
Are you giving me back too?
What? Of course not.
Eat up, sweet pea.
Tastes a lot better with a big squirt of ketchup.
Do you have her school records? That's her birth certificate. This one's not even in English.
Why is this bothering you? They let her in, right?
We're supposed to be on the same team.
Don't do that. We are on the same team.
Something is off. She has adult teeth. There are signs of puberty. Michael? I don't think she's a little girl.
We're with Child Protective Services.
What?
There's been some concern about the safety of the children in your home.
Did someone leave you there?
You have no idea how those people hurt this girl. We are helping her. She's choosing to con us. You're choosing to believe her.
You're the one lying to me.
You should get a lawyer.
What the hell are we supposed to do now?
The photo isn't her. She stole someone's identity.
I don't know what's going on.
How old are you?
If you tell a story well enough, truth doesn't always matter.
Folks just love a good American family.
All right. It looks like a wild movie,
Yes.
right?
Oh my goodness, it looks good. That does it for us. Thanks so much for spending time with us. Be good, everybody.